Hello, Tomlin here, and today I am going to show you this awesome collaboration between G-Shock and Facetasm. So this is model number DW-5900FA-1. And yeah, if you don't know Facetasm, they are a Japanese streetwear brand, and this is another limited edition that I thought was fun to check out. So I'm going to talk you through just the specs, and then I'll tell you what I think about it and whether it is going to stick around or not. So let's have a look at the specs. Diameter is 46.8 millimeters. The lug to lug is 51.4 millimeters, and the thickness is 15.5 millimeters. So this is a thick boy, and I'm going to be doing a lot of comparison with the classic GW-5000U that I wear all the time. So we look side by side, compare the thickness. You can see that the DW-5900 is a little bit chunkier. Now then, it has the 3465 module, weighs about 60 grams, and it's powered by a battery which has a 5-year battery life. And it's the classic Resin. Has the negative display, the triple complication display, and then we've got a caseback engraving here for the Facetasm collaboration. Now, I thought it was Facetasm, and apparently it's Facetasm. So this guy came out in 2023, and you can still find them quite easily. Okay, so let's look at the functions. So on our kind of time screen, our home time screen, you can see that we have time, the date, and the day. On the left-hand side, this counter counts up the seconds, the first 5 seconds of every 10, and then this one counts up the second 5 seconds of every 10. And that's all we've got on the home screen. So then let's cycle through modes. So we've got world time, so I got that set to New York. Then we got the stopwatch, which works just as you would expect. And you can see that our counters are going mad because they're counting the split seconds. Anyway, let's reset that. Go on to our next thing. So we got a timer, as I use that to enforce certain deadlines on my young children. Very useful. Then we have an alarm, and then back to normal time. Okay, so let's have a little talk about how this kind of works practically. Now, as you can see, I am struggling so much to find an angle where you can actually read this dial clearly because of the negative display. So normally it just looks like this. And we'll look at what the backlight looks like when I turn the lights off in a little bit. But just to start with, it's a little bit of a challenge to read. Now, I don't think that's the end of the world because it looks really cool. We've got lots of fun little design elements. So already the different colors around the bezel, the green, the red, and then we've got gold buttons and a gold buckle. It's very fun. And then the handwritten little annotations. It looks fun, but it's not the most practical. One thing I will say about this particular model, the DW-5900, is that although it looks fat and although the specs make it sound like it wears quite large, it actually works pretty well. So let's put it on my 6.5-inch wrist and have a little look through that. It doesn't look insane, it works well, and what I'll do after that, I'll compare it with my GW-5000U. So you can see it doesn't wear massively bigger than a square, even though the dimensions might suggest that it would. So that's a positive. Now then, what don't I like? What's the stuff that's really annoying? So things that I'm finding really annoying, that negative display, as much as I think it's cool in the kind of heat of the moment when I want to see the time, it's a bit frustrating, especially in kind of in-between light. If we're in between light, it's not dark enough to use the backlight, we don't really see, and it's not light enough to actually see what the time is. So that's really annoying. The other thing I find super annoying about this particular module is when we go on to the other functions, like for example the timer, you just have the information about the timer, you don't have the time. Whereas if I do just like my classic square and go through to the timer, you can see in the top right-hand corner, I've always got the time, so I always know what time it is and where we are at with the timer. So that's something I find quite annoying about the DW-5900. Let's have a little look at the backlight on this bad boy. Okay, so it looks pretty cool. If it's dark enough, it works well, but it's quite hard to see the rest of the time. Okay, so let's have a little think about whether I'm actually going to keep this collaboration DW-5900 Facetasm and G-Shock. Now, it's very cool. That's why I bought it. I thought it was fun. But in practice, it's just too annoying having the negative display. It's really difficult to read in less than perfect light conditions, and you've always got to get the angle just right, and that's too annoying for me. I also don't really enjoy the module that it's got in here where you can't see your home time at all time when you're using other functions. That's just a personal gripe, but it's something that I love about the classic square. So I think this guy is not going to make the cut. I've enjoyed it, but I'm going to move it on. So if I've still got it and it's for sale, you'll be able to see it in my eBay shop in the description below. And if you have any suggestions for other fun limited editions or collaborations that you think I should check out, just comment below. That'd be fantastic. And thank you so very much for watching. Take it easy. Bye.